In this video, we are going to discuss about one of the most important types of solving integration problems, that is integration by parts. See, when we talk about integration by parts, this is the last method of solving integration problems. So this is the third type, or you can say third method. The first method, what you guys studied was substitution. Then we studied partial fraction. Now this is the third one, that is integration by parts. Now, what integration by parts basically is, suppose you have product of two functions, then how you're going to integrate these two. For example, simple one, say you have x into cos x. You need to integrate this. How you are going to integrate this particular equation, or not equation, sorry, a function, right? This is what we call integration by parts. So that is, you take it, you split it into different parts and then you integrate accordingly. Fair enough? So here we are going to understand how integration by parts is going to work. Anyway, the entire derivation is not there for your syllabus, but I would always suggest you guys to go ahead and look into it, how integration parts is being done. Fine. Now, whenever we talk about integration by parts, a very important thing is so there are two functions. So obviously, whenever you are multiplying, there will be two functions, like minimum. You can have two or more also. Minimum, there are two functions. So we assume that, not assume, that is, we are going to give one function as the first function and another as the second function. Basically, there is a precedence. All right. So in this case, x becomes the first function, cos x becomes the second function. All right. Say we'll call this as u and we'll call this as v. Or you can also call it as f of x and g of x. Fine. You can name it however you want, whichever way you feel comfortable. Now, suppose if the two functions are u and v. Now, the reason why I'm taking u and v is because even for derivative, we took it in the same way, correct? uv, then we did u dash v plus u into v dash. So because of that, I'm taking u into v itself. Okay, later on we can change it. So the integration I, that is by parts, is going to become u into integral of v minus integral of u dash into integral of v. So this is basically integration by parts. Alright, suppose if you're doing by f of x and g of x, because in some of the books they would have given you this way, then I is equal to f of x into integral of g of x minus integral of f dash of x into integral of g of x. So this is basically the entire integral. Fair enough? So whenever we talk about integration, this is what we are going to do. Now you see an example, right? X into cos x. Let me show how we are going to do it. Okay, and also we are going to discuss why x has to be the first function. Why not cos x? Like I told, there is a precedence for it. All right, we are going to discuss that also. So here I is equal to f of x. So in our case, f of x is basically x, correct? So keep it as it is. So let's write it down. What is first function? First function is x, which is f of x. Second function is cos x, which is g of x. Right? So you have I is equal to x integral of cos x, first part, minus integral of, what is f dash? U dash is nothing but 1. 1 into integral of cos x. Don't assume that, oh, what do I do? There is integral of integral. It's not like second order derivative. Okay, so what we are going to do is, we are going to take this part separately. Fair enough? So now you have x into integral of cos x is what? Sin x. X into sin x, correct? Minus integral of sin x dx, right? That's why you don't have to take integral of integral, nothing like that. Fine. So you get it as x sin x. What is the integral of sin x? Minus cos x. So plus cos x plus c. So this is going to be the value of I. See, differentiate this one. You have x sin x. You have to use product rule. And then cos x is going to be minus sin x. If you look at it, the sin x and sin x is going to get cancelled. So you'll end up with just x cos x, which is the given value. Fair enough? So now that you have understood how to apply first part, so before that, the very first thing, the beginning part is what is the formula. Once you know the formula, second, you need to understand how do we do it, correct? But intermediate, there is one very, very important step, that is the precedence of the function, right? So now let's discuss about the precedence. The precedence of the functions is given by this particular acronym, that is I late. Now, I late stands for something, obviously, right? So I stands for inverse trigonometric function. All right. L stands for logarithmic function. A stands for algebraic function. Sometimes you might also see arithmetic, but algebraic is a better word. T stands for trigonometric function. E stands for exponential function. So this is the order of the precedence. That means in this, the topmost one is given the highest priority. That means that is given to be the first function always. All right. So this here, this is the decreasing order of the precedence. So this is decreasing order. Fair enough. Now in this case, what did we take? Example was x cos x. X is algebraic. Algebraic has higher precedence. Correct? That's why we take algebraic as the first function, cos x to be the second function. The precedence reduces. Okay, now there is a reason why we take it this way also. Because of certain range and domain, we are going to take this particular precedence. Understood? Like if you take sin x, cos x, tan x, any of the trigonometric functions, they are all repeating functions. Correct? And whenever you take derivative or whenever you take integral, the sine function and the cos function keeps on repeating itself, correct? Whereas if you take algebraic function, you start differentiating, the power of the variable, whatever you have, keeps on reducing, correct? So the integration process keeps on decreasing, decreasing, decreasing. Fair enough? That's another reason why we take it this way. I mean, I'm not saying that this is the only reason. This is one of the reasons. That's all. Understood? So this is the precedence, I late. So any function you have, the first thing you need to understand and you need to know is what is the precedence. Because if you know the precedence, you can figure it out. Understood? So you also saw an example, correct? How to go about it. How do you apply the formula? Now in the next video, we'll start with few problems on this, integration by parts. Not a lot, but we'll start with very few of them. All right. So in the next video, we'll start with problems.